Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. This is Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Fame. I got Brad Gilmore here with me as well. And we got on the line, ladies and gentlemen, WWE SmackDown Women's Champ, Bayley. Bayley, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing great. I mean, I thought I sounded cool, but you sound way cooler than me. Two-time Hall of Fame, six-time champ. I'm a Grand Slam champ. Does that give me any points to you, dude?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. No, let's not get there too soon.
Okay.
Let's not get there too soon. But let's get into it. You pretty much signed in WWE back in 2012. But before that, you was working on the indie scene. Tell me, I know for me, when I was in the Global Wrestling Federation, man, I was having so much fun. It was like, going to Disneyland every Friday night in Dallas, Texas. And I was only making $100, but sometimes I would wrestle 3 times in one night. And, but I didn't care. But it was so much fun. And I missed that. When I got to the big time in WCW, it became a job for me. What do you miss about the indie scenes?
I think I miss just like traveling. Like friends, because like the people that I trained with, we were training together for hours every week, like twice a week, sometimes 30 times a week. And they were my first, I don't know how to explain that, like first family in wrestling, I guess, and first real friends. And when we go on our road trips, like just the struggle together is now funny to look back on. And it's really, really, like I have such deep connections with those people and like such strong friendships because we all kind of took care of each other when we needed to. Yeah. So I guess I kind of miss that. I mean, you have it in WWE, of course. I have Sasha Banks, but just something about that was special, and learning together and learning the roads together and learning wrestling together was really cool. Yeah. I don't miss sleeping on like paper beds or anything.
That's part of the journey, though. I think that's I miss a little bit of that kind of stuff. I remember my first time I went to Japan, and I didn't have a whole lot of money or anything like that. And I was going to be there for a week, and I had so many canned goods like tuna, I had chilies, I had beef stews, I had so much stuff. When I got through customs, they thought I had a weapon of mass destruction. Like, what is this big bag here, man? But it was such a great time for me. But let's move a little bit. We talk about the females coming up today. Charlotte definitely have did it at another level. You talk about Sasha, and those two have been the first a lot of times in a lot of these big matches. But yourself, you're the first Triple Crown winner. You're the 5-time champ. What is it? What does that now? Seriously, what does that mean to you actually accomplishing that goal? And did you expect to accomplish something like that when you first got into this?
No, I really didn't. Like, I obviously had goals of things I wanted to do in wrestling and just wanting to make an impact and make fans feel how I felt when I watched WWE. But, once I got into it, I was like, I'm not going to last. This is so hard. I'm not girly enough. The training's too hard. But like, then you get going and you're like, oh man, I can make crazy things happen with these girls. And Sasha and I actually had the first ever Ironman match in NXT, and it was the first main event for a pay-per-view. Well, like on the network for NXT. So that was when my mind really started going, and I knew it was just it was a huge milestone, and I knew things were just going to get bigger and things were going to get out of control, but it was opening a lot of doors for, like the women that you see in NXT right now, or the women you see on SmackDown and Raw right now, just as like Natty did for us and Beth did for us. So it's just like seeing the evolution go and go and go and just get bigger and bigger. It's been just wild, but I would never expect like my teeny bopper days with my posters everywhere and waiting in line to meet all of you guys that I would be on the other end of it. And it's really crazy.
Almost 8 years since you signed with WWE, and then of course, like I say, that time on the road in the indie circuit. That's a little bit of time. I mean, we always talk about the bump card, and how many bumps we got on our bump card and whatnot. How's the body feeling as far as injury and stuff and whatnot? How have you been dealing with that?
It kind of goes in waves. During NXT, I was kind of sore all the time because we were training for hours every day in the ring. And like, believe it or not, once I got to Raw, I was like, oh, I kind of feel a little bit better. I can go home for a few days and not touch a ring. But this year has been particularly rough for me. I think it's just a lot of work, a lot of matches, which I love. But I've been more conscious of taking care of my body on my days off and recovery. And I look at guys like Randy Orton, who has like such a long warm up regimen, or Rey Mysterio, and I'm like, all right, I need to make sure I follow. If they're doing it, I should be doing it too. So it's all about the warm up for me. It's okay right now. I don't want to jinx my body though.
No, I mean, a lot of hot bath for me. I was the guy.
Yeah.
I was the guy every time the guys would be at the bar, drinking. I would be in a hot bath, you know what I mean? And then I would have the cold packs all over me, The next day, I show up ready to go, But that, I always say, with this thing, preparation is the only luck we're ever going to have as far as trying to make it to that next level. So definitely make sure you, do that due diligence as far as doing those little bitty small things as far as being prepared. What's kept you focused, all throughout this tenure? Because I know on the road, temptation, man, there's so much out there that can draw you in, that can make you look the other way and start thinking that this is something other than your job. And you go out there, man, I'm a rock star, man. You see yourself totally different than everybody else. What's kept you grounded and kept you focused? Because young people, performers out there that's getting into the business, I think they need to know that.
I think for me, this lifestyle is so fast paced that I don't even have time to think about anything else. And I guess it could be said the other way around too, where you're like, oh, it's so fast paced, I just fall into the rock star lifestyle, like you're saying. But for me, it was so fast paced that I was like, oh, I need to keep up and make sure all the women are so good. I want to, be as good or be better. And having Sasha, honestly, is probably my main help, because I think she is the greatest, and she's always like really focused. She's always, even though she's younger than me, she's kind of like the bigger sister or like the mom to me, where she kind of holds me down, I guess. So you definitely need that person on the road with you to keep you sane and focused, and be your friend and be your ear and your shoulder and all that stuff. And that's really, really helped. But I think I just keep setting small goals for myself every, few months. And that's definitely helped. It's just small goals and write things down. And if something's not working, then figure out why.
Yeah.
Definitely have fun here and there,
Gotta put that in.
Yeah, backup is very important too. You know what I mean? I had my brother, you know what I mean? So I was always looking for a fight. You know what I mean? I didn't care who it was, because I knew I had 300 pounds of romping, stomping, grave digging, destruction Jack, following me and had my back. But since we've seen you, you've always played the good guy role, but now you're totally different. You totally playing the heel side, the bad guy side. How do you feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the role change? Because for me, I loved it when I was coming up. I loved being the baby face. I loved being the bad guy. But the thing is, both of them have so different sides of the work aspect. Because when you're out there trying to please everybody, you got to run hard. But when you're out there, just doing your thing, man, it's almost like being on cruise control. What has it been like for you as far as the change goes?
Yeah, I mean, it's been weird for me since I did the same thing for 7 years, the same character, and built this fan base for so long. And the whole time, especially towards the end, I was like, man, I just want to do something different. I want to be that. I want to be me. It'll be easier. I know exactly what I would do. I know how I would act. I know how I would talk.
Yeah.
And then I get here and I'm like,
yeah.
what the hell am I doing? Yeah. Now what?
Yeah, but
so it's all a learning process, but it's fun. Like, I want to be able, in my career, I want to be able to do everything and go through all the different avenues and go through all the humps and the waves and all that stuff. I don't want to just stay like on the same road the whole time.
Yeah.
What was it your idea to make that transition? Was it your idea to say, hey man, I want to change the character, or did they come to you with the idea?
It was a little bit of both. I've always had like in the back of my mind, if the time would come or if the opportunity arose, like how I would want to go about it. So it's definitely a little bit of both.
January 26th, Sunday, January 26th. We're promoting the Royal Rumble here,
Oh, right.
coming to Minute Maid Park here in Houston, Texas. I already put in for my invitation. I'm looking to try to get in the Rumble just one last time, one last ride for the 5-time champ. Hopefully, so if guys are out in the the higher ups, the guys in the office, I hope you guys are hearing this, man. Make sure I'm looking in the mail every day to see if I get my invitation. But what do you expect for yourself around Royal Rumble time here in Houston, Texas at Minute Maid Park?
Well, I expect to at least last a little longer in this Royal Rumble than I have in the past 2 years. It really, really makes me mad. I'm like, what am I doing all the way back here? And I'm out in like 5 minutes. I want to, obviously winning a Royal Rumble is a goal of mine, but if I'm still the champion by then I guess I wouldn't be in the Rumble match, or can I win and then like I have a match with myself? Like I don't know what's gonna happen, but if I don't win or if I'm not involved, I would definitely love to see Sasha win. And I think she knows a guy named Vince.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he owes her a lot of money and owes her a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you need a favor, I can let her know and we can get you into the Rumble match.
Awesome. Hey, before I get you out of here, dream match. Who would that dream match be for you? I know we got a lot of top superstars on the roster right now, but who would be that dream match for you of all time?
Oh man, there's 2 that come to mind, but I would say me and Sasha against Trish and Lita. Man. It used to just be me versus Lita, but I think as the years have gone on, I think I need to see myself and Sasha against Trish and Lita, and that would be, I can retire after that. It'd be the coolest ever.
Yeah. No, that sounds real good right there. That's awesome. Hey, I know you got a lot of work to do. I know you're doing your rounds and whatnot, but I just want to thank you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. First and foremost, getting your piece of the action, getting your champagne wishes, your caviar dream. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE SmackDown Women's Champ Bayley. I appreciate you, girl. Talk to you soon.
Thank you guys so much.